Today we're getting reports that over the night, North Korea has decided to launch multiple different projectiles toward Japan into this area. They're saying multiple short-range anti-ship projectiles were launched and that they landed in the sea between Japan and the Korean Peninsula. This is an area where we see these projectiles land often, sometimes even in the economic zone that belongs to Japan. And Japan, not liking this one bit, any country that's sitting around that has another country popping off missiles in your direction, they're landing just short, and knowing that this country's threatened you many times, all it takes is one that's loaded up to hit, and you have a disaster. Now, they've been doing this for a long time. We're kind of used to the same old song and dance here with them as they fire off rockets, kind of in defiance, trying to say, look what we can do this, you can't stop us. And they continually keep doing this. In terms of striking something, no, that hasn't happened, but I've got a weird feeling that the day that they do strike, it could very well be a lights out situation here on this world stage. And the reason I've said this so much is because they have 2 satellites in space right now that, by all accounts, should not be there. The U.S. military said that they were tumbling when they first launched them and that they were not concerned about them. Years later, they're both still there. And our EMP commission that they dismantled warned before they got dismantled that those North Korean satellites could indeed have EMPs on them, and they just so happened to be floating around at the perfect height or altitude in the sky for that. And then they dismantled them. And the U.S. military doesn't seem to care that they're there. I do. Seeming that could possibly be the one thing that could shut the lights out in America, Canada, and Mexico. Just remember that that's real deal, and you can look it up, fact check it yourself. Links below.
This is the book of WW3, starting at verse 9. It says, proclaim ye this among the Gentiles, prepare war, wake up the mighty men, let all the men of war draw near, let them come up. Beat your plowshare into swords, and your pruning hook into spear, let the weak say, I am strong. I will repeat verse 10. Beat your plowshare into swords, and your pruning hook into spear, let the weak say, I am strong. All praise, honor, and glory to Yahweh, Baha Hashem, Yahweh Shai, Baha Hashem, Rakakadash. The Bohana to the elder and apostle of the Mason, who do well. A peace, a blessing, and salutation to you, Akim, who are pushing this truth to the four winds of the heaven, be on the forefront of this spiritual war, and to make sure Jerusalem is established as a praise here on earth again. We have an incoming news, you see, about North Korea, this weak nation in which EastSea shunned them away to be incapable, incompetent, to be his competitor. When you go back to the history or the rhetoric which was going on between America and North Korea, you see, America used to say that North Korea, they are incapable of developing a viable missiles, man. Or they were incapable to attain what we call a nuclear parity, to be able to produce missiles with substance, missiles which can pose a threat to any nation. But right now, EastSea, because he is very proud, let's open the book of Obadiah. You see, the book of Obadiah, man. You see, the book of Obadiah 1 and the 3 says, the pride of thy heart he will deceive thee, those that dwell in the cleft of the rock, whose habitation is heart, that says in his heart, who shall bring me down to the ground? But what they don't know is these other nations are dealing treacherously against Babylon, you see. We don't know whether Russia or China is involved, but one of those nations are involved to make sure that North Korea act as a buffering state, and that's what North Korea is. North Korea always act as a buffering state between the West and the East, you see. And this buffering state or buffering country between the West and the East, it work best to China and Russia, man, you see. So it's all in the will of Yahweh Hashem Yahushai, you see. It's all in the will of Yahweh Hashem Yahushai. Let's see. So let's see. 51. So this is Jeremiah 51 verse 1. It says, "Thus says the Lord, Yahweh Hashem Yahushai, behold, I will raise up against Babylon and against them that dwell in the midst of them, that lies up against me a destroying wind." And the destroying wind that's going into the nuclear missiles, man. Verse 2, "And I will send unto Babylon furnace that shall fan her, and they shall empty her land, for in the day of trouble they shall be against her round about." So that simply means this other nation will be plotting against Babylon, man. You see, like how I did a lesson back in the day, going to a dream that I had, this other nation basically going into the alliance of Gog and Magog. I had that dream, man. And through the spirit of Yahweh Hashem Yahushai, I was able to see how this other nation are plotting, man. Here you have America, they are playing game. They come and tell you the aircraft carrier of America, it have been infected by COVID-19. Those are games, man. Esau thinks that he will rule forever, and he is playing game, making jokes, being all proud and lofty, you see. But what he don't know, this nation, they don't sleep, and that's what I saw in that dream. This nation don't sleep to make sure American is gone, you see. And when that time comes for the Lord to push that reset button, this other nation won't think that they will kill children, old men, beautiful women with big boo-boos and the buttocks, man. No, man. There is urgency, you see, for this other nation to bring WW3. That's what I saw in my dream. It's like a sense of urgency, man. They are perfecting their missiles. So I saw all of that, man. They are perfecting their missiles, placing their army strategically around about Babylon, you see. And amen, how things are going in North Korea, man. I have been following North Korea since they launched their first missiles, and that missile just it folded back before even reaching the atmosphere. Up until now, North Korea can launch multiple missiles at the same time, man. Multiple projectiles. How beautiful is that, man? Surely the Lord Yahweh Hashem Yahushai is with this other nation, man. You see? So verse 8, it says, "Babylon is suddenly fallen and destroyed whole for her. Take balm for her pain, if though she may be healed. We would have healed Babylon, but she is not healed. Forsake her, and let us go everyone into his own country, for her judgment reaches unto heaven, and is lifted up even to the skies." You see? Verse 11, "Make bright the arrow, gather the shield. The Lord Yahweh Hashem Yahushai has raised up a spirit of the king." Nipo takuja. Salake for that. The Lord has raised up the spirit of the king of the Mid. And who are the Mid, man? The Russian. You see? For his device is against Babylon to destroy it, because it is the vengeance of the Lord Yahweh Hashem Yahushai, the vengeance of his temple. So that's what is going on, man. And North Korea has just launched a missile into the sea, the East Sea of Japan, man. So, and another thing I want to touch on is the association of COVID-19 with geopolitics. I see now in the geopolitical world, COVID-19 is being used to push forth or to draw a map of